when you're riding on a bike for 50 miles, probably the best warm-up is to just gradually increase your pace on a bike. But for 50 miles, unless you're Lance Armstrong, you're not going to be going really, really fast the whole time. So I don't think the warm-up actually is the most important part. I think it's what you do to negate the fact that you're on a bike for 50 miles. E.g., when you're sat down in a certain position, you're going to be causing essentially muscular imbalances, because I'm assuming there's a lot of training that's happened to get to being able to do 50 miles. So you're going to be sat on a bike for a long, long time in your training and then actually on the day. So that will mean that your hip flexors will potentially become shorter, the front of your legs are going to become tighter. And what you need to think about is what you're going to be doing every day probably to make sure that those things don't actually become an issue. So what I would do is make sure that you're implementing a flexibility routine every day to essentially negate all of the things that happen from the bike. So stretch your hip flexors, stretch your quads, stretch your pecs, because when you're sat down on the bike you'll be really protracted in your shoulders. And try and make sure that you're thinking about your posture, because you don't want the fact that you've done a bike ride to cause you issues in a few months' time because it's affected the way that your body sits.